Go ninja, go ninja, go, 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 go. It may not be pizza time, but it's time to rank the TMNT films right here, right now. And let me remind you before we start, these are only my opinions. I want to know your ranking in the comments, and there might be spoilers. My ranking may change over time. You can check my updated list on Letterbox. Please follow me there. Number 8, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. I don't hate this movie, but I don't love it. I can have some fun with it, but in general, it's pretty much a bad movie. The costumes are horrible. The producer went cheap and decided to not go with Jim Henson. My action figures look more real than this crap. The villains are weak, the jokes are bad, and they butchered my boy Casey Jones. He's basically a babysitter now. I do like some moments between the turtles and the villagers, but that's about it. Number 7, TMNT. This movie is overlooked. The animation is not the greatest, but the characters make up for it. The turtles are very well represented. Splinter is cool. Casey and April are awesome as well. My main complaint is pretty much the villains. There's no Shredder or Krang. They didn't work well for me and make this movie as good as could have been. Talent is the main aspect of this movie. You got Chris Evans as Casey, Sarah Michelle Gellar as April, Patrick Stewart. Amazing cast. Number 6, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This Michael Bay produced reboot got a lot of heat. I can understand why. It started on a bad foot with the turtles rumored to be aliens. So it was obvious that there was going to be rewrites. The original Shredder has been forced in, and the turtles have a weird background. They learn ninjutsu from a book. Why not? However, this didn't really bother me, and I still had fun with it. The action is fun. The turtles have personalities. I admit they look kind of weird, but it didn't really bother me. They are mutants after all. I like the story. Motivations from the villains. Will Arnett is Will Arnett. My main negative is Splinter. The voice actor does a great job, but the writing of his character is just off. He is definitely not as likable as other versions, and his design is not good to look at, to be honest. He's a rat, but the 90s film made a rat likable. It's not the best movie around, but I've seen much worse. Ninja Turtles, Next Mutation, I'm looking in your direction. Number 5, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Out of the Shadows. This movie is an adaptation of the 80s cartoon. It has very similar vibes and it adds characters like Bebop and Rocksteady and also Krang. They fix a lot of the issues I had with the previous film. It's still not worthy of the first two live action movies, but there is some fun for me. I liked it. The turtles are still cool. Mikey is less cringy. Megan Fox is still the same as the previous movie. Will Arnett is still Will Arnett. Splinter was a little bit more likable in this one. His character model still lacks compared to the original live action movie. I would say my main complaint is Casey Jones. I prefer the character from the 90s movie by a long shot. This version does not live up to it. Number 4, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze. The second movie is less gritty than the original. They really toned it down, and the turtles do not even use their weapons. This is really like a cartoon, but I still enjoy it. The gang is back, the costumes are still great, but they are a little brighter to make the turtles more kid friendly and less gritty. April is not the same actress. They changed Casey Jones for a young man called Kino, but it's Ernie Reyes Jr., so I'm not really complaining. Shredder's back. He has survived being crushed in the garbage truck, which cements the status of cartoon for this. They added silly mutants to face the turtles. They are mostly present for comedic purposes. Bebop and Rocksteady would have been better, but it's all good. They continued to use these new mutants in other TMNT media. The script is not that good, it's cheesy, but it's still a fun ride. I even like the Vanilla Ice part. Number 3, Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I really like this movie. The two worlds work perfectly, and it's the perfect tone for both universes to collide. Gritty, but with a sense of humor. The animation is great. It's up there with the rest of the DC's animated movies. I really appreciate it. The characters really live up to reputation. Voice acting is great, but I would have preferred Troy Baker to have his own take on Batman instead of trying to replicate Kevin Conroy's Batman. Don't get me wrong, I love Kevin Conroy, but he's the perfect Batman. I would mostly have his take on it. This is a great film and I recommend it. Number 2, Turtle Forever. I love this movie. The animation is great. This combines three generations of turtles. Main one are the 2000 series. Then they bring in the 80s turtles and then the Turtle Prime. Awesome reveal, which you might as guess are the original Monoton turtles from the comics. The story works really well to fit everyone in this adventure. Each generation is really well represented. You can notice the difference of the animation and character wise. The only thing missing from this is James Avery as the original Shredder. Uncle Phil's talent will be forever missed. Number 1, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 1990 movie. This movie is still my favorite comic book movie of all time. It's gritty, it's funny, it has heart. The costumes are brilliant. It mixes the original comics and a little bit of the cartoon really perfectly. I love it. The story starts with the classic storyline with April having issues with the Foot Clan and the turtles come to the rescue. This is one of the best reveals for the turtles. It builds the hype up really perfectly, and we are quickly introduced to the turtles' famous personalities. Massive shout out to Jim Henson and his workshop who created the costumes of the turtles and also the puppets and the animatronics for the movie. Splinter is so well done and added with the voice actor, it adds an incredible performance to the Muppet. The human actors do an incredible job. The actor who plays Shredder is iconic. He is menacing and does not make the character cartoony since his character basically looks like the 80s cartoon. And let's not forget Casey Jones. He's a badass. The movie touches on themes like family and loss and makes this experience really deeper than it should have been. The speech that Splinter gives to Danny is a touching one and is a perfect example for this tone of the movie. The music and the soundtrack is so underrated. The main theme song, The Turtle Power by Partners in Crime, MC Hammer, Spin That Wheel by Technotronic, worth a listen. I listened to it on Spotify. Bonus point, Sam Rockwell is in this. So this ends my ranking series for TMNT. I want to know your ranking. Have a good time. See you next time.